I've known Steve about 10 years. He was advised, he did research for Dwight Stoll, professor at Gustavus Adolphus, outstanding professor at Gustavus Adolphus. And Dwight advised him to look at different research groups for his graduate work. And one of those was mine. So I first met him while he was visiting Pitt prior to his matriculating here to do graduate work. Well, I don't know a lot of details about what he does because he works in industry and they don't give away secrets, but I do know some things. And what he has done as a part of a team, including engineers and synthetic chemists, he's worked with them on a device that can create really complicated molecules that are drugs and make them with extraordinary purity. And this is an incredibly difficult goal. And his job was to make measurements while this chemistry was occurring to make sure that the ultimate purity would be sufficient for use as a drug. And these are really, really, really complicated molecules. So it's a huge, huge tour de force that he's been involved with at Eli Lilly. He's driven, but he's also selfless. He worked really, really hard in graduate school. There's one thing he did. He worked 7 days a week, 6 days, probably 10 to 12 hours a day, and a few hours on Sunday for months, making 26,000 measurements. So the rest of us could figure out some stuff about a technique called chromatography. That was sort of his part-time work he decided to do completely independently. And in his real research, he was tremendously creative. He came up with great ideas and engineering to make them happen. He's very detail-oriented, very thoughtful and careful. I've had a lot of really good students in my career, and many of them can, shall we say, think a bit much of themselves. Steve wasn't. He reached out to 3 different graduate students to establish 3 separate collaborations that resulted in publications, just because he thought it was good science. Not thinking of himself, but thinking of it, making a teammate seem better. I really, really respect him for so many reasons, but that is one of them. Dwight Stoll is an outstanding man. That's a very high standard, and I think, in my mind, that's Gustavus Adolphus. He's thoughtful and deliberate and a great mentor. And Steve has those same characteristics. He doesn't do stuff just to do stuff. He's thoughtful. He attacks important problems. As I've already shown, he's generous with his time. He's a good person. And I think that reflects the Gustavus Adolphus environment. I wish I had met his family, and had I been able to make the trip up to Minnesota, I guess I would have. I'm disappointed not to be able to do that. But yeah, I think Steve is overall, based on the Gustavus Adolphus upbringing, a remarkable man.